Yeah.
Just see what's up. Hey everybody, I'm Yvonne Williams with Back to Earth Creations, and in today's live stream, we're doing some crafting. We're doing a lot of Q&A again. Y'all are just so chock full of questions. And we'll just kind of see how it goes. What's up, babe?
This is a different computer.
Uh-oh. And it's also our friend George lent us his old computer to replace the one that Randy's usually on. So Randy's suddenly like, oh crap, because we haven't live streamed off of that one yet. Hey Derpy, hey Michelle, hey Foragin, hey Linda, hey Pastures, hey Ghostwrath. It's really great to see y'all in here today. By the way, Forging S'mores, your Daedric armor is looking amazing. Quite possibly the coolest armor, like Daedric armor I've ever seen. So very cool. Right, Annie? It does kind of seem that way sometimes. Or Arnie, sorry. I'm a little far away and I can't read so good. Amy, no, I'm right. Arnie. Hey, Francois. Hey, Jim. We are pretty lively today. Well, thanks, Lexi. Um, Honest to goodness, I woke up like 2 hours ago. I don't know why I slept in so late. I think I needed to recover last night. Oh, well, night before last, I guess I only got like 4 hours of sleep. So I got like 10 last night, which is good. But I was like, I had crap to do today. Alan says you guys should start blacksmithing. We're doing a little bit of like metalworking kind of stuff, but I'm most excited though right now about lampwork glass. I know it doesn't look like much right now, but I gotta finish getting this set up for Randy. All right, babe, I'm in.
I've got to download, so.
Okay, so we're not gonna be doing too much Q&A at first because Randy's still getting sorted, but I made some of my very first beads. Now, Jean, you had left a comment about needing the the glasses. I definitely need the glasses, but I did do a little bit of torch work without them last night. Um, and Randy was like, "You know, you're gonna die." Like, and I was like, "I know, I'm sorry." But I mean, he didn't say that, but he was like, "You really ought to be doing this with the glasses." But there's nowhere that sells them around here, so I'm like, I'd have to wait anyways. And I was naughty. Um, but y'all, meet my very first bead, lampwork glass bead. It's all lopsided and weird and has like a piece of scuzz stuck in it. But I made a bead and I can't get it off the mandrel. I think I gotta soak it in some water. That's what the internet said. And then this was my second bead. I made the mistake of poking it while it was still molten glass into the. I was like, I'm done, and stuck it in there. So it's all smushed and weird on one side. Again, you can't really see. I'll post a picture of them up on Patreon or something. I've decided I'm gonna keep these guys. I'm at least gonna keep. Yeah, I might keep all four of them. We'll see. Eh, um, it is hard from the realm of complete and total inexperience. Lighting my torch, super scary. Pretty sure I was gonna die. Um, yeah, it's I was gonna keep them that way. I'll always that way. Hopefully, one day when I'm doing these like wonderful pieces that I see other artists do, it's like I want to do cool stuff like that, and it doesn't look that hard. They make it look so easy, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I just do this, and then it's like, oh, you lumpy little nugget. But these are my last two. This one wasn't too bad. But this one was still all upside and weird. They kind of look like if I did them out of red, they could have been cherries or something. But very excited about that. The hardest part of this for me so far has been I feel good. And the house is still standing. And boom 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 boom. Safety first, except for I need to, also get the safety glasses. All right, on. I will not be demonstrating today. It takes my absolute full concentration and it is very, very loud. It is not good live stream content because I'm very distractible. I'm sure you guys have noticed if you've hung out with me ever. And I cannot afford to get distracted. This is really, really hot fire. And I'm super duper flammable, and made of meat. So there's that. Hey Juan, I'm feeling great. I would have burned the entire neighborhood. And I do have some welder's goggles, but I don't know, the everybody that I've heard from either in comments or watched online, it's this specific kind of glasses that blocks, because the problem with the welder's goggles is it makes it like it's too dark. It's kind of like wearing eclipse glasses almost. Like it blocks out too much. You still need to be able to see what you're doing and like some color differences and stuff, I think. So, but you can kind of see over here on my work surface. Um, I kept popping my rods, and that was the thing is I had the when the flame's on, it starts off like quite low. I feel so weird even put my hand in front of it. But whenever I'm at full heat, I'm going like here, and I have the rod, all the way out, getting it hot, and then I start trying to, and I'll get to like here, and it just starts cracking and popping, and then this one actually cracked just right there on the tip while I was making a bead. That's why this one's so much bigger than this one is the rod broke. And I'm like, maybe it got dropped and already had like fractures or something, but I'm having a really difficult time heating my rods. And I know that there is a product out there that it's like a little hot box that you can put your rods in. It doesn't anneal them, but it preheats them. And I'm like, that's a lot of money to spend on something that doesn't heal them. It just like I don't miss the I don't own a lot of long sleeved cotton stuff, and so like even this is a cotton like spandex mix. I'm gonna be making myself a leather apron. That way, when hot glass pops and lands like in my lap and stuff, um, like it won't like burn through my clothes and melt and stuff. The glass is heating too fast. Yeah, and I guess I'm just impatient. Well, that piece, just the little head of it broke right off. It makes such cute little. I want to make little lampwork octopi, like little, and like squids and stuff. Um, but yeah, so that's pretty exciting. Thank you so much, Allison, for this wonderful opportunity. I don't know if I ever would have actually mustered up the guts to go and actually get into this if you hadn't gifted this to me. So thank you so much. But we are already looking at a kiln, because I've been wanting to get into fused glass for making my own dichroic and like fused glass cabochons to send out in the craft-along kits. That way it's not just polymer clay cabs. But it would get way too expensive too fast if I were putting in like gemstone cabochons. With stuff like that, it's like I'd rather y'all save your money and just go buy it from the people that I would have had to have bought it from, so that you could make something out of it. Like I want it to be the most cost efficient as possible for y'all on those craft kits. But I'm like, if I could do fused glass, and so with the kiln that I'm looking at, thank you, babe. With the kiln that I'm looking at, I can do fused glass in it. I can anneal my lampwork glass beads, and I can also do metal clay, which previously I've been limited to just what I can do with a torch. Yeah, I've been reading up on the coefficient of expansion with glass and stuff, and I can fire them together. But like I could have a 96 COE next to a 90 COE, as far as I'm aware. I just can't have them mixed together because it's as they cool, they'll contract and expand and contract as they heat and cool at different rates, so they won't fuse together properly or they'll like crack and stuff. But as far as I'm aware, they still take relatively the same heating temperature. But I think that's as far as my impatient self can push it. And if anything, I'll just be like, well, this is a batch of just the 90, this is a batch of just the 96, and then the rods are a 104 COE. So that's learning all these technical terms. It's very excited. I'm excited. This is exciting. Hey, Larissa, things are going great. Okay. Ooh, Randy's got a bunch of questions up for me. Natalie says next year we'll be doing stained glass. You can get the glasses on Amazon. Natalie, I have a whole wish list. Hmm?
Before that one.
Oh, I'd answered that.
Oh, okay.
Um, I've already got like a fused glass wish list and lampwork glass wish list going on Amazon so I can kind of price check. And I start whenever I'm shopping, I'll just add everything to a wish list. And then as that, I'm like, ooh, this looks interesting. And then I'll research the product, see if I can't find it for more affordable somewhere else, see if maybe I don't even really need it because like there's something called a marver which you use to like shape the glass and stuff, and I'm like, well, if I get this one kind of marver, it eliminates the need for these three other kinds of marvers that I was looking at, and I didn't know that as a beginner just coming in. um okay. Okay. I don't wear gloves whenever Miss CDO. I don't wear gloves because it's very tactile. But
C and do you?
oh, Miss C, sorry, the way that Randy sent it, sorry. Thank you, babe. Um, Even though it's molten glass on the tip, you can't even feel the heat down here. So that's a good idea, Jim, to just use the one COE. Kay Collier asks, you can get a crock pot and fill it with vermiculite. You can anneal your beads that way. You can also warm up your rods. That's a really good idea. And you just have like the crock pot on like high. Though I thought to anneal, doesn't it have to be at like 900 degrees or something? I don't know, it might be different for different kinds of glass. Again, super new at this. I don't know anything. Like, I know like three things. And that's what I read off the internet. Like, that's it. How do you get your craft kit? You sign up to my Patreon. If you do any of the $20 or up tiers, you'll get shipped out on, I think April we're going to be shipping on the 15th, though in the past we have shipped on the 8th, but 15th is the cutoff date. If we haven't shipped by the 15th, we've got some problems going on, and we keep everybody up to date that way. But yeah, we will be having a video coming out probably later today to just the, like, you keep an eye on your, if you're a patron, the your Patreon inbox where you should have gotten a tracking number, sent to you so you could track your package. With that's only for this month. Like, we only do that whenever it's sent out very, very late. But we do recommend to folks that if you really like getting like your tracking number and stuff, USPS for continental residents, um, you can sign up for informed delivery. It's free, and they just send you an email every time a package is shipped to you from anybody, and stuff. So yeah, Daniel, the March's crates we finished shipping them out on Monday. Or I think we did like the very, very last one. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you guys so much for being so understanding of just everything with it was a bunch of little stresses and little complications building up, and after about a month and a half of that, that's why they call it the straw that breaks the camel's back. We were just getting increasingly stressed and frustrated with different changes that were happening. We found out that the reason why they were late processing with our Patreon is if you process through the 1st and the 5th, and if your card is declined, whether it's expired or your bank doesn't recognize Patreon, and you've got like a very strict, it stops something and then has you verify before it goes through, they continue processing until the end of the month. Like, and they run your card like once a week to see if it will go through. So that's why we had some folks being charged on like the 25th, and we were like, this was supposed to happen at the beginning of the month. We didn't understand what was happening. So we understand that now. They changed their CVS reports to where January was one way, the way it had been for what feels like ages. February, it was a different way. Like, we talked to our friend Lauren, who also does Patreon, and she was like, yeah, I couldn't find who I, like, none of the information was where I needed it to be either. And then in March's patch update, it went back to the way that it was in January and prior. So it's just been, again, all these little, stuff building up. So, and the more stressed I get, the less well I handle anything. Like, it's Tuesday and it's ready to go, God. Like, complete and total artist meltdown, basically. But yeah. But yeah, it's all good. It should be, we shouldn't have any more problems. And really, we only have a problem, like last time we had a problem on Patreon was in September when we were sending out double craft crates. And that was, again, wasn't Patreon's problem. It was something going on with us. But I feel like if we can't mess up twice a year, what the, so I can handle one mess up every 6 months. So thank you guys for being so patient and so understanding um, of that. And, not, well, I'm not going to go into the people who were not patient and understanding, but they have been promptly refunded. So,
Got a lot of questions going on.
sorry, honey. I felt like bitching for a minute. uh, doo, doo, doo. Catherine says, been gone for a while due to illness. Oh, I hope you're doing better. I'm back at it, and it's great to see you. You're such a positive inspiration. You inspire me with my crafts. Right on. Oh, that's awesome, Catherine. I do hope you're feeling a lot better. Sheila got her craft kit. Excellent. Sarah says, I've never done chainmail, but I really want to try. Would changing to the chainmail be a good choice as a beginner? Honestly, for most folks, I do recommend being in our dealer's choice tier, because that way, if you want to try a chainmail, but you're just not certain, like that you like wire wrapping, we kind of alternate. Like sometimes you will get 2 months back to back of wire wrapping or chainmail, but our goal over there is to alternate what gets shipped out each month to that tier. But yeah, we try to keep it really beginner friendly, because for March's craft along kits, uh again, the video for that should be coming out later today. So keep an eye on your Patreon inboxes. I think that's what started that whole tirade. Is you can do, we sent like 2 different ring sizes, I think, and you can do the weave that we're going to be, going along and recommending, but you can also, like in the video, I'll have listed all of the different weaves, or at least like 3 to 5 other weaves that you can do with the same ring sizes. That's something that's really excellent about chainmail, is you you need 2 pliers, one for each hand, and then some rings. And even with just one ring size, you can do like 5 different weaves, and then you add in another ring size, and suddenly you've doubled that, or at least you can add some different size and shape variations. So it's, yeah, I do, long story short, I do think it would be good for a beginner. um, Tracy says, if I subscribe to Patreon but in South Africa, will you be able to send a kit? We do ship internationally. Sorry, I can feel a sneeze coming on. We do ship internationally. We've never shipped to South Africa before. Excuse me. Actually, let us look up and see, because I know that for our friends, World of Strange in Nashville, it was like $70 for them to ship to South Africa. So, I might ask Randy to look that up, what the shipping rate would be before we say, yes, we will send you one. But typically, we will send you one. Like, it costs us like $15 to ship to like to the UK and Australia and stuff, but we still do it, even though, like,
Send us a private message.
yeah, send us a private message on Patreon if you can. You don't have to be a pledger.
Just to your email, so
Or to my
have
email.
Address.
Yeah. But we try to get them shipped off everywhere. So thank you guys. Will you be doing more wire wrapping? Elisa, yes, but we will be doing more wire wrapping. We actually will be doing more wire wrapping right now. Teresa says the hardest thing for me in chainmail is learning what size jump ring you need to use. A lot of I'm going to keep talking to you while I get this changed around. We go into stamps.com, like we have an account, and we find out, like we'll put in the address and see how much it would charge. Thank you, Cynthia. Crap, I forget what I was talking about now. What was the question? There's something called aspect ratio in chainmail, which is the ratio from the inner diameter to the circumference. Or is it the ring gauge? Crap, I don't know. Never mind. I was going to try to be helpful and just got myself confused. But I function most in an aspect ratio of like 3 to 5. And my favorite ring size, if to take to teaching classes with me, is 18 gauge 3/16. It's a little bit of a smaller ring, like for costuming purposes, but I find it's perfect for jewelry. Not too big, not too small, and it works for a lot of different weaves. Um, so here I am making some bases for being electroformed, which is why we're just using copper tape and a bit of wire. I would never sell this as a piece of jewelry. Yeah, Ghost Wrath, that's perfect. Ringlord does have a chart on their page that shows you the different ring sizes as well as like what aspect ratios they are. And then whenever you look up on like maleartisans.org on their tutorials, they'll show what aspect ratios work well for that weave. So then you can pick anything off of that chart. Probably the most helpful resource I've ever seen, honestly, as far as chainmail goes. Then also here is one from Chainmail Joe. Thank you so much, Randy. It has the aspect ratio there on the inside. So again, you can see 18 gauge, 3/16. That's an aspect ratio of 4. So, and what's great is whenever I'm making something that like grows or contracts like in size, is I would try to stick, a 3.5 by a 4 by a 4 by a 4, and that way your gradient whenever you weave to thicker and then thinner, just if that makes sense. But yeah, Chainmail Joe, I really like their stuff. I get them off of Amazon whenever we don't have time or materials to coil and cut our own. But yeah, so I'm making some bases for electroforming, which, hey Randy, could you do me a favor? Um, in front of the tumbler in the paint closet, there is an electroformed pendant just sitting there on the shelf.
Okay.
Could you bring that to me?
Try.
That'd be perfect if you could. But yeah, again, I would never sell one just like this because it would not hold up well over time, I think. I'd love to see more polymer clay tutorials or in the Craftroom Hangout. Are you planning anything like that? It's a really good question, Beth. I like the idea of it, but I'm not very good at planning. I'm not against it at all. Yes, there we go. Now this one was in the electroforming bath overnight, and it hasn't been polished or tumbled or anything, but you can see it builds up, and it will be nice and shiny again once I'm going to put it through the tumbler for about an hour, hour and a half, and it'll smooth it down and bring it back to this coppery shine. But you can see just how thick the copper buildup was, taking it from an 18 gauge to probably closer to a 12 or 12 or 10 gauge even, just like that. So, oh, that's very cool. I had no idea. The Chainmail 101 has an aspect ratio calculator where you can just put in the gauge and inner diameter and it will tell you the AR. Oh, that is cool. The future is now, people. But yeah, I do hope to have more tutorials coming. So far I'm just sticking to one a week, but I would like to be able to up it to 2 a week in addition to the 2 live streams. But just man, just trying to find that work-life balance, and it seems like the more we try to move off of our plate, the more work shows up. So, which is a good problem to have. But so for these guys, I took some 18 gauge, and when I'm electroforming, I always use bare copper. Now you could solder over this also. And I'm using these super cool pliers. Yvette got me. Thank you, Yvette. And I had taken, throw it on the ground, and bending the end like that. And then, oh, I'm not sure what you mean by harden and electroform. I didn't work harden them at all. I'm going to show you how we get it up to here though. But I'm going to bend this around. Because with electroforming, you don't really need to work harden it, because I send it through the tumbler with stainless steel shot for anywhere from 30 to 90 minutes. after it's been electroformed, and if it's not work hardened by then, it's not gonna be. Hey Naomi, I'm kind of doing the wire wrapping prep before electroforming, because I had gotten a strand of these opalite points ages ago from Fire Mountain Gems, and you can see they're top drilled. And so what I'm going to do is come through, and I basically made a pinch bail. So we can just come in and put one end into each end of our point. Though it is important, excuse me, to make sure that it is bent enough. That one just doesn't want to go in. Let's use a different one. Will you fit? Yes, you will. There we go. And then it just pinches down like that. Now, again, I wouldn't really have this go out to its forever home just like this with no... I just cracked some glass off of it. Gotta be more careful. But then we'll come through with some copper tape. And I'm just measuring. Where my scissors at? Here they are. Snip a little bit more. I don't mind having some overlap. And this is just the 1/4 inch copper tape. And I'm just going to get in there, peel that open. And I did shoot some footage yesterday of how to do this on raw crystals as well. Because I'm really hoping that Randy and I will be able to fit in some personal time under the guise of a work expense to go crystal mining in Arkansas. We're not sure when or where, but just to be able to get some of our own raw quartz crystal, because that's something that I've always wanted to do. I think it might be a lot of fun. And so we just wrap it, keep those ends lined up, smush it down. And again, this tape is pretty delicate. Ooh, clay gnome home with glass windows. That would be super cute, Jim. But yeah, so that gives us just a nice little... We could tie it into a macrame necklace. We could attach some rings and chains. We could, you know, string it this way. But this clay tape or this copper tape is very delicate, so I don't want to sell it just as is. I need something to keep this from getting wiggly on me. So that's where we'll come in and do, I guess at this point, it is kind of just like electroplating, but I do want to turn the ampage up really high so it'll get some cool, like gnarly, like bumps and irregular growths. Oh, I've actually been watching the Crystal Collector, Ghost Wrath. Oh God, I'm dying. Oh, excuse me, I didn't mean to just die in your ear. Oh no, it's the mail. Sorry for the dogs. Now, we won't be spelunking. It's like an open air mine. Hey, leave that kind man alone. Come here. Sam. Hey, sorry. Quit. Working, Berg. Okay. It was the ups man. Were we expecting something, Randy?
Probably.
Okay. I'll go check. I'll be right back, guys. I have no idea, but it's to me. I guess I'll open it. Wait, no clue. Okay. Flip that back around. But yeah, we're not going to be, it's an open air mine for quartz mining down in Arkansas. So yeah, it's, in a mine would be really cool because I won't get sunburned. But have you done stained glass before? I lived in Texas many years ago and took some classes there. You'd really learn how to solder that way. I haven't, Teresa, but I really admired a lot of the stained glass work that I've seen. But there's not really, maybe I'm just not searching the right key terms, but I haven't really been able to find a lot of local, like, shorter than a 3 or 4 hour drive. Like glassworking classes. I did find fused glass classes in Springfield that I'm like, I want to go and take that just to get to use somebody else's kiln first. There's some paper. There's some. Oh, excellent! That's what it is, honey. The jeweler's saws from Global Industries, which I swear sounds like supervillains. Do what?
I thought they got refunded.
I thought it did. Well, they refunded for the one. Oh, I hope these work. So we'll get to try those out today. What just fell? Oh.
Ooh, it's from Poland.
Ooh. Yeah, that was something we were devastated. It was another hit that we took this past month concerning Patreon. And that was, previously we have coiled and cut almost all of our own rings, except for whenever we can't. Laura, well, of course, now I can't remember the name of the studio, but it's a glass studio there in Springfield. They have like walk-in classes. I'll send you a note, and we might have to go take fused glass classes together. That'd be really cool. But yeah, I think if you just Google glass studio Springfield, Missouri, it should come up. So, hey Mikio, how's it going? That's fantastic though. But yeah, we were coiling and cutting our own rings, and it's the most work intensive and the least profit margin thing that we do. So we were like, okay. And that was whenever blades were only $11 a piece. Now they're $25 a piece. And I was like, because sometimes I can get anywhere from 150 to 3 coils out of a blade before teeth start breaking off. I'm doing everything the same. I don't know if I put it in wrong. I don't know if maybe sometimes I just get a wonky blade or something, or maybe the coil hits it. I don't know, but sometimes we can get whole bunches of coils, or this last blade, 3 coils before it's unusable. So I was like, I can't afford $25 blades. So we're trying from a different distributor. But I don't know if the blade size is the same. I don't know, like the little notch in the thing isn't the same. Oh, I'm not sure what you mean, Tracy. We're seeing your comments here.
She's talking about entering on last week.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, we do need to do a giveaway, don't we? Did we have? I'm gonna give away this thing right here. I'm going to give away this copper electroformed feather. It was a resin cast feather that I had made, and then we electroformed it. So even though it's huge, it's very, very like lightweight. I don't know what me going like this is going to demonstrate, but take my word for it. For a giant hunk of metal, it's pretty it's pretty lightweight. So that's what we're giving away today. To participate in the giveaway, comment on Tuesday's live stream. If you scroll past no, it's not commenting on this one. It's if you comment on Tuesday's live stream, like you just go watch the video and then you scroll down and it's like
go to Tuesday's live stream.
Can I demonstrate on the?
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Okay, I'm gonna demonstrate here for you guys. Yeah, that was something. I'm not even gonna. I will always go through the extra effort to literally pull it up and give you guys a tutorial, because there's some people out there who are like, nobody needs this. And I'm like, you might not need it, but I don't know where to find stuff. Tracy doesn't know where to find stuff. There's like, Randy has answered like probably 30 comments or direct messages this month over on Patreon about people being like, how do I alter my tier? What WTF? Anyway, so you can see I've been like annealing glass beads. How do I find? I am okay. So current live streams. There's a who dat pale ass need to go outside looking. Sorry, I'm just being mean to me. So you'll go to my page. That is my YouTube.
Open up another tab.
I don't know how to open up tabs.
No. You don't have to leave this live.
Right.
You just have to open up another
Well,
tab.
if they're on mobile.
Yeah, you're on mobile, you're on your own.
Right. So you're there and you can click videos right there. And then it'll be Craftroom Hangout Live 3/16/19. Excuse me. And you'll click that.
No.
What?
16.
Sorry, 3/26/19. I misspoke. And then, oh, what did I just press? Oh, it's upside down. My tablet is. I guess it didn't make a difference, so does it? Okay, and then you'll see a bunch of junk at the bottom. You'll just scroll past all your recommended videos. And then right here, it'll start to say comments, if it'll focus. And right there, you should see your icon, and you would click add a comment. And then you can type, and then press enter. And then you will have commented and you'll be entered into our giveaway. Oh, Mikio says, Vaughn, do you ever want to know when someone uploads your videos on their channels? I think it's wrong. I did give permission to a few folks, not realizing that, because I get emails. Like this morning, I replied to 2 emails of people being like Board Panda, and then somebody based out of the UK was like, we really like your Dragon Eye of Sauron video. Do you mind if we edit it and post it to our Facebook? And I was like, yeah, sure. Just link back to my stuff. Like, I'm like, they asked. That's very nice. There were a couple of folks that had asked, but they had listed Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Vimeo, like a bunch of stuff. And I was like, yeah, I guess. And then they only posted it to their YouTube, and I don't get to pick and choose who gets to be successful at like rehashing my work. But I'm okay with it sharing on Facebook because I'm not very active over there. But I have started stipulating yes, but only to Facebook. Because otherwise it does just kind of like, we took a pretty big hit on like our views and stuff because people will go to the bigger channel to watch it, which is fine. They're doing very well for themselves having such a big channel. But there's also the artisan in me is like, they have a big channel and they never made it. Like they did the editing, but like they've got a bunch of these other people's videos that like, I don't know. So I can't go back on my word and be like, no, it's no longer okay. But it's like, now I know better. And I don't give out permission anymore for folks to post re-edited versions of my videos on their YouTube channels. Just because, I don't know. It makes the waters a little bit murky about who made what. Like if that makes sense. And then I'd like to be able to give as much credit to the original artisans as I can. And there was one video that I had watched that was like these super cute, like the little resin frames, and they put like the little plants and doodads and stuff in there. Yeah, and I'm right there with you, Mikio, but I have to, there's a big part of me that gets really money grubby really fast, especially when it's like, everybody's got bills to pay. But it's like, I gave permission, presuming it'd make nothing. Just now that they've got, like more views than my entire channel put together, doesn't mean that I get to be like harumphy about it, if that makes sense. But I'd watched this video, and then, but most people don't scroll down and see, like I did go and subscribe to the original content creator, but it's like they already got that view though, like if that makes sense. I don't know. It's murky waters, and I've learned my lesson to not do that. Too little, too late though, but oh well. How do I get back to where I'm talking to Randy? There we go. Okay, Randy's got a couple more questions for me. Diane says, I'm so grateful to be able to watch the stream today from the comfort of my own home. I was in the hospital for 2 days with a bunch of issues. Oh, Diane, I hope you're doing like much better. Like, well, thanks, Mikio, and it means the world to me that y'all have my back and that, like, thank you guys, like, so much, like, for just being awesome, really. Okay, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah, we're doing a giveaway, so go get your comment over yonder. We'll do the giveaway for that in about 5 to 10 minutes, just to give you all a chance to go leave a comment and participate. Ray Ray asks, Miss Ray Ray says, hey Yvonne, hey Ray Ray, how are you liking Etsy? I'm thinking of leaving after 2 years because the prices got gone up too much or too high. It's crazy. Any suggestions? I personally like Etsy okay. Other than the high rates, there's not really much that I don't like about Etsy. Though honestly, it's still just 20 cents to post. So I just raised my prices a little bit by like $1 or $2 in response to their rates going up. Now I can't speak directly. I don't know if like Artfire or Shopify, I don't know what their rates are off the top of my head, but I know that Patreon is raising the fees that they have for like new Patreon content creators. But that rate still is pretty on par with other services like that. So I think it's just becoming a more expensive world to function in online, and man, that bums me out. So yeah. Well, Karen, I understand why they go through and edit. Like, I get it. Like George Takei, they edited and shared one of my videos, and they did a great job on it because it makes it like kind of into a commercial. Like it's like letting other networks make commercials of my work. And I don't mind that a bit. But whenever they make like, I don't know. I don't know. Ooh. But yeah, I was gonna be making bunches of those today. I gotta get that one wrapped. And the nice thing about these opalite crystals, let me get this camera turned back around. I want to buy a feather from you, please. I'm sitting here threatening lovely viewers that I'll fight them for the feather. Well, Shannon, I have this feather here that I will post up for sale on Etsy for you to wire wrap, or whoever buys it. And if you guys really like these, I'll go ahead and make some more of them because I've got, yeah, I can make more of them. And then post them up. So anybody who doesn't win today's feather but wants some.
People be interested.
Oh boy, okay. So yeah, I'll be posting them up for sale on Etsy. So now, honestly, guys, they're gonna go for about $20. Like they use a lot of copper and they're pretty labor intensive because I do file and tumble them and stuff. So Jim, right on. Well, I'm really glad. Wow, I've had those sitting there for about 2 months because I was like, I don't think anybody will like them. I was wrong. Horribly, wonderfully wrong. Getting this turned around. We get back to crafting. Okay. Okay, well, I was going to give them until the 50-minute mark, just to let everybody comment. Now, I am going to go ahead and tape this one, and then we're going to do a separate project. Because, ooh, this is another one that I'm going to be putting into the electroform bath. Though I do want to cover the front and back with latex to protect it. Right on. Right? I hear you, Tracy. Charge! Aw, Shannon. Now, I mean, still, by all means, throw your water balloons of anger at. Do not let me stop you. But, right on. Okay, guys. Now, we do also still have some steampunk cabochons up for sale on our Etsy. And we've been thinking about posting some craft-along kits up on our Etsy as well. In addition to, because there are a lot of folks, and I understand that it's like, you're like, I don't want to wait till the end of the month. I want a craft-along kit right now. So we were going to post like the craft-along kit mystery boxes where you get just whatever the theme of that month is. But again, we don't know. It's all murky water, uncharted territory. But yeah, I think I'm really gonna like these. I've been trying to explore more into the realm of sleek, simplistic, minimal designs. Shop news. It's sold. Original owner finally sold it to her father. That has been abandoned for a few years. Website make it facelift this summer. Oh, Jim. Oh, that's fantastic. Where did this come from? Oh yeah. And also I had a request from one of my friends who makes like body oils and different things to do little fill it yourself bottles. That way if you wanted to do like a bunch of loose crystals or like herbs or something, or like little moss and polymer clay and stuff. But I was gonna sculpt and put a crystal on the top and then electroform that. That way it's very durable. So this one I gave it some ears poking off at the side, and I was going to sculpt with epoxy sculpt this little guy and do like another little gem, oops, right there. I know copper is in, but are there any ideas of yours to do other colors like silver tones? I really do want to get into doing more silver tone stuff, Michelle. And that's to do that I would be able to go through and possibly use a silver heavy solder. But I did that and it just looks quite messy. Like even trying my best. So I think I'm just gonna get into silversmithing. And so that way, ooh, mason jar candle holders. That's really cute. But that way I can just go ahead and start making like heirloom, silver jewelry that's not like aluminum or silver solder or anything like that. So, ooh, we do have some other ones. Oh, Randy's got some questions for me. Oh, Laura, I don't think it's a fossil. It's a blue lace agate druzy, I believe. Like from like the inside of a geode. And then we kind of just went through. That's true. Oh, Nicole, that would be so cool to get into do the silver electroforming as well. It would take a completely separate setup because the chemicals don't mix, but yeah, it's I've done some painted on. You can actually pull it. It's been since the fall, but I had done some this was precious metal clay, and this was the stuff that you like paint on, but my little butane torch didn't quite get hot enough. But this was a little this is fine silver over a morning glory leaf that just painted on, and I had tried a couple of other things, and this was from a syringe, but with my torch it just wasn't getting hot enough, and I figured I needed to go ahead and do like just kiln work, I suppose. Okay. As I feel like I've already learned more, or started dabbling in rather, more techniques this year than what I had originally anticipated. Like this year, I was just like, I want to learn how to solder, and well, we've got that, and I'm by no means a master at it at all, but and we just keep adding more more stuff to it. So Maria, I'm actually going to show how to cover in latex right now, so I'll be right back. Ooh, I don't know if you could do a microwave kiln. That's a good question. Hey, pretty kitty. Oh, I guess I'll need a paintbrush too, won't I? Okay. So I've grabbed the latex and I've grabbed it's a pretty inexpensive brush. I got it in like a bulk pack, but I don't know if this is going to ruin it or not. You cannot put PMC in a microwave, says Nicole. That is good to know. Says Nay, I've already been asked, but answer. Ooh, where do you get your crystals? Sarah, I get a lot of my crystals from eBay, Amazon, and Fire Mountain Gems, but I also really like going just to gem and mineral shows in person when I can manage it. Ooh, I like them thick. I like them chunky. Sorry. I'm coming through opening up the latex. Whew, that smell. I mean, it's not bad. It's just a very distinct. And I'm just going to dip my brush in.
Amy says you're late for the giveaway.
Ooh, right on. Let me get a layer on, and then we'll wait for it to dry. Okay, let me figure out what I'm doing with my life. So, uh-huh. So I'm just going to glob it up pretty seriously here on the front because it'll peel off. And I'm going to give it just a little bit of space for the copper to grow around the edge. Oh, and I'm out of frame. Here I go. And I'm probably going to end up doing a couple of layers of this. And if this were like turquoise or something, I'd be doing it straight to the edge of the copper. I would not risk at all putting this into the acid solution for electroforming with any little bit of the stone exposed. Dip, dip, dip. Just kind of doming up the surface. There we go. Putting the cap on. Aw. Okay. There's a nice little close-up of it. And now that latex has settled into the low points, so on the second and third layer, it should have everything just very well covered, is the idea. So now, popping this onto the thing. Amber, you're... you caught us live, Amber. What was that? Said the dude on the embassy. That's hilarious. Ooh, there's my little Callie cat. Callie, you want to come pick the winner with us? Oh, you're a good girl. Come here, kitten. Oh, mama's little munchkin. Okay, let's go pick the winner. Are you ready, Randy? There's my Randy. He's my sweetie. And this is my Callie cat. She's a sweetie too. Y'all hear my driveway chicken?
What's 39 new people today.
Ooh, really?
All right.
Nice.
So we're up to 140 comments.
Mm-hmm. Picking the winner. Will you hold the cat? She doesn't want help. Okay, bye, cat. Ooh. Adam M. Oh! Says, I haven't watched this one yet, but I do love that feather on 328. Well, congratulations, Adam. It's yours.
A message from the future.
A message from the future, right? All right.
Go give me that feather. Okay,
I'll be right back, Randy. What'd I do with that feather? Of course, did I put it where I can't reach? Yep. Oh no, Sandra. Okay, I'm gonna run this feather into Randy, and then I will be right back. And apparently I'm gonna have to get to work making more of these. So each one will come out a little bit different, but since the core is what I make out of resin, that's pretty replicable. And I like them. They're a little bit sturdier. Well, Randy came and got it from me. Thanks, baby. Excuse me. Will that take any of the sparkle away from the druzy? It shouldn't. It should not take any of the sparkle away. Oh man, I'm super impatient though. Now we have to wait for it to dry.
Durable.
And Randy just threw it on the ground. Is it okay? Yeah, super durable.
I told you it's very durable.
Ooh, thank you, Tracy. We actually have, I've been using some liquid cast, and this will be the perfect thing. We've been casting horns. Do you guys want to see what we've been up to? Ooh, I have coffee. I forgot. That coffee warmer was a life changer. I need to put a tag on it. I keep forgetting. Y'all are so generous to me that sometimes I'll forget who gave me what. Like, I'm like, was this from Yvette? Or was she from Misty? Or was it from that other lady whose name I can't remember, but I can remember her screen name picture? So I'm just going to start having little tags on everything, but it has made a huge difference in the quality of the stagnation of my coffee. It's raised it by a lot. Because this cup was from like 10 minutes before the stream started, and it's still good. I'm gonna keep chug-lugging this for a minute, and then I'll show you guys. It's like Archer. Jim, we do still have decals available. My favorite natural scent is probably rosemary and lavender. Heavy on the lavender, light on the rosemary. Hey, Penny. Okay. Off to the other craft room. Yeah, impromptu craft room tour. That's my cockpit, where my little nest of how I function. Flame working area, metal working area, wire wrapping and beadwork, walls of materials, storage, plant window, storage, dog couch, storage with some wings drooping on it. This is the corner that we really need to take care of because we got the piano tuned, and like within a week it was out of tune again, like just very discordant, and it's just started growing stuff. So we're gonna have to figure something out about that. Polymer clay area, wall of polymer clay and associated things. Plants. I love green things. These are the clay cabs that we're getting put together for April's craft along kits. This is one batch of probably 4 or 5 that we'll be doing, but the paint was drying this afternoon. Randy and I will cut them and bake them. Storage, leatherworking. Oh, there's a really young Randy and Vaughn from like forever ago. Randy's senior prom. Leatherworking, storage, silk floral for headdresses and stuff, printing area, that's where Randy takes care of his office stuff. And then into, there's Ken wearing Saiyan armor and my gardening hat. Did I see Randy run by? What's he doing in the neighbor's yard? There's Randy in the neighbor's side yard. And then this is the other craft room. This is the one that is in dire need. This is how all my craft rooms used to look, though, honestly. Dire need of renovation, ceiling, from water damage, from pipes bursting and flooding ages ago. Storage, resin area, more storage that I tried to get cleaned off and then it got more stuff on it. Storage that I tried to clean off but then got more stuff on it. Storage, Bertha, who I lost her base and now she can't stand on her own. This is the paint closet, which we did get a new rack from Harbor Freight. It was like $15. It was on sale for all of the Dragoneye painting. Works much better than the one that I had made, and I like that the shelves spin individually for the most part. And then this is where we're doing, let me get this flipped around, we can actually check on it. Misty says, I remembered something you said last stream about lamp working outside. I don't recommend it. It's super hard to see the flame outdoors. Wind causes issues with flame too. That's a really good point, Misty. I'll keep that in mind. That was something I'd thought about, and then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I'd like to be in a slightly more controlled environment. So I'm just rolling this down. Gotcha. No, we live in the house, gosh, is quite old. Oh no, is my pickle pot, did it melt through? Or is that just something sticky on the thing? No, it's just something sticky on the thing. Okay. Just sticking my fingers and stuff. Well, it's just acid, it should be fine. So we're riding at 0.3 volts with 0.73 amps. I'm gonna switch that off for a sec. Our chopstick of holding and our baking soda water. Ooh, that's looking so nice. So you can see, maybe, how that's building up. And it's very, like, foggy, like right now. Like, it's not very shiny, but I think it'll continue to build up really nicely. So I'm just going to pop that right back in. Clippy clamp that back on. And switch that back on. And I'm actually going to turn it up a little bit. I want more bumpies. So, so now we're off to getting this turned back around. Let me get, sorry, I feel like I spend most of my existence just messing about with these tripods. But we're making more horns for Aradani Studios in their booth at the Ohio and Tennessee and Georgia Renaissance Festivals this year. So you can see we actually have a bigger selection because some of them are for us, some of them are for them. Oh, that would be a good lampwork spot, wouldn't it? Except for I think we might have a gas leak in that room. So I don't know. Laura, I didn't bother coating the opalite because it's a glass. It should be fine. And it seems to be holding up all right. But these were some that I had made. So we've just been unmolding them. These were actually the molds that I had made for my Spyro costume. But they hold up pretty well, I think, for making horns for on your head as well. Especially, I love these little ones. Now I have to do a double batch, though, to be able to get these to have matches. Which is difficult for me because I am not particularly good at making things the same, like, consistency and color, if that makes sense. So there's those. But yeah, I've been using the Smooth Cast Color Match Liquid Plastic Part 8, Smooth Cast 325, so it's clear, but you can put alcohol ink in it. I've been putting Art and Glow pigments, but it has a 2.5 minute pop time. It can technically be demolded in 10 minutes, though I do try to wait, 30, just to really let them harden up. But my mold is starting to get old, so I'm making a whole bunch to clean up and make a new master mold out of. Well, not master mold, but just a new mold, I guess. Oops. But these ones glow in the dark like a really deep red color, which I think that'll be really nice. But so just whenever the end of the cup, I'll pour it into these little crystal molds. And then what I really like about this stuff is I like using it with my silicone cups. Excuse me. Because then you can just pull and you've got, with a little bit more tidying up, you've got a clean cup again. Now, I don't prefer these cups for whenever I'm casting with regular Art and Glow because you can see in here on this one, the regular Art and Glow, since it takes a much longer time to dry, has a tendency to bead up. And then so you have all these little beads to remove. Whereas the Smooth Cast cures before it has an opportunity to separate. So it's a lot easier to clean out of the silicone cups. So it's just kind of picking and choosing what gets used for what. But since I can get, I got all of those horns made yesterday. So that was a lot better than back whenever I was first off hand sculpting every single one, because that took so long. It was so labor intensive. It was very inconsistent results. And then whenever I'm using like art and glow, like the casting resins that have to, 24-hour cure time, oof, it spends too long in the mold. I'm not quite able to meet production needs. So that's how we kind of counterbalance a lot of this stuff is not every piece gets to be a handmade work of art, but sometimes you gotta mass produce stuff. Ooh, oh, Laura, that's a brilliant idea. Randy, Laura says use duct tape or packing tape to lift off the beads of the dried resin. That's brilliant. Thank you, Laura. If you're really into lampworking idea, I recommend the forum Lampwork, etc. So many years of knowledge there and great people. I'll check that out, Misty. Yeah, I am really excited about Lampwork. Not just it's something that I've always wanted to do, but also from a business perspective, if I could offer y'all one-of-a-kind handmade lampwork glass beads in the craft-along kits as well as fused glass, like that would be so cool. Because like I like sending y'all the polymer clay cabochons, but I feel like I would like you guys could make those yourself. Like they're very approachable, very, very easy to do once you kind of get the hang of it and lose the fear of, for me, the fear of pouring and casting the resin. But lampwork can be a little bit more daunting or definitely expensive and just stuff. So it's something that's to give you guys the opportunity to be able to use these pieces that you can't get anywhere else. Like I don't know, that I'm really excited at that prospect, and to be able to really offer you guys pieces of art every month in your craft along kits. Like I think that'd be neat. Huh. Any rocks that contain iron can go wonky. It might be a good idea to just coat all of them, really.
Have you been reading your questions?
I have not. I'm sorry, I just got back from outer space. What? Came to the room that said, "Look upon your face." What?
Stop.
Oh, I'm not allowed to sing. Right. Sorry, copyright infringement. Banned forever. I thought I was like, I don't understand. Why can't I sing? Now I remember. Okay, so I'm super, super behind. Do you do sterling? I haven't yet, but I really want to. I was gonna mess about with copper a bit, doing like soldering and like doing some torch work and stuff on making soldered. Shannon Adam won the giveaway. Congratulations to Adam. What do I use to attach my horns? I use spirit gum to glue them to my head, and we sell little vials of it. But also on some of them I'm going to be drilling so that you can just wear them like on a headband. Jim says careful using hematite or tiger eye with electroforming. They conduct electricity. I bet that would make some really interesting effects though. But yeah, I'll definitely dip them in latex before putting them through. Lily asks, I don't understand. Why can't you sing? Well, first off, I don't practice enough and it sounds bad. But no, YouTube channels have started to get hit with copyright claims for just singing or humming or speaking even the words of songs. And that's something that, man, I think I have poison ivy. I just itched it. Dead nubbit. Where did I even get poison ivy from? I stepped outside like once. I had said to Randy, I was like, I don't think I'm a big enough channel, like by a long shot, to start getting pinned with stuff like that. And Randy's like, it's been happening to some folks who, have like 100 subscribers. It's just like, it's very random. And I'm like, I don't like being told what to do, basically. So yeah, that's why I can't sing.
Cover albums are getting struck.
Yeah, and cover albums are getting struck. Like my Mad World cover that I did like 2 years ago, copyright. Which I'm like, okay, even though I played the piano and I sang, and it's okay. It's there. It's not my song. So Rachel, how's it going? We've been doing great. I hope you've been well. It has been a minute. Oh, geez, Dan. Tracy asks, how do you maintain your dreads? They're wool dreadlocks. I just braid them in. And I just shampoo like the front portion of my hair, and then every couple of weeks I'll take them out and like brush everything out and like put in a different color if I feel like it, or I'll just leave them in. But it's yeah. Aw, well, thanks, Sam. But I have a completely separate video of how I make, install, and maintain my dreads over on my Monster Vlog channel. But oh, it's taking forever to dry. I'm gonna show you guys. There we go. A lot. I probably should have, you know, we'll see.
It's not the artists themselves that are tagging people.
Yeah, it's not the artists doing the copyright claim. It's the like Sony Industries or whatever, whoever owns the rights. So, Aussie Wellsy about the bigger companies making bought like things to find videos they can copyright. Also, apparently, then someone else gets the money from your video. Yeah, 100%. And I was inclined to take a video down if people are gonna get like grubby about it, but ooh, moved houses. I hope you like it in your new home. Moving's always so exciting, but like also like incredibly stressful. So there's that. But I'm gonna keep having a good time even if YouTube's being a butt. So keep on keeping on. Where is your vlog? Is it on YouTube? It is. It's under the Vonster vlog. If you Google that, I guess. And I post, like, I have a separate Instagram too, because I like sharing like my garden and my workouts and my dancing and stuff with you guys. But it was getting to be too scattered here on the main channel. And so I just started up a separate vlog channel. So that way, I wouldn't have to answer people's comments anymore about like, this isn't wire wrapping, this is dumb. And I'd be like, then I'll watch it. But that's just me getting snarky with people though. Sorry. It's good stuff. Thanks guys. Real quick before we go, Adam, are you still here? Stop licking your butt. I can hear you. Z, I know it's good. You gotta stop though. He's like, Mom, it's my favorite. Okay, would you like for me to wire wrap this for you, or would you like to wrap it yourself? Oh, Lily. Do what? The Vaughn vlog vlog. Vaughn vlog vlog. Waiting for a reply. I'm super excited because if you don't want me to wrap it, I'll wrap the other one and then put that one up for sale. Ooh, okay. So before I go, we're going to wire wrap this for Adam. Would you like it wrapped in copper or silver? I don't know. Figured we'd ask. And do you want just like a regular bail? I could make it to where it threads through on the back. Ooh, in copper. Bare or non-tarnish? Ooh. I do sometimes, Kathy. Which Ren Fair would it be? Good night, Tracy. So I got some bare copper right here. The Instagram, Tracy, is just Monster Vlog. Like, I think it's all one word. Because I think, Adam, if I wrap it in bare copper, then they'll be able to oxidize at the same rate. Yep, I'm wrapping it right meow for y'all. Waiting to hear back from Adam, though, before I snip it off the spool. Ooh, Tracy McBride says, I just wanted to let you know that I'm a newbie and starting my business, and you give me a lot of inspiration. Oh, I'm glad you found us too, Tracy. Ooh, okay. Whatever comes out on my mind, y'all watch out. Okay, so I'm cutting off about 20 inches, yeah, of 18 gauge bare copper. Let me just scooch this mess. Oh, geez. See, this is why I don't clean. Says Vaughn, clinging to excuses as to why I suck at being an adult. Okay. Oh?
That's where the horns are going to be.
Yep, that's where the horns are going to be. Okay. So I do typically like to start with the bail. And I'm going to do this, I mean, almost dead middle. Being in good company. You know, now that I can't sing, I just want to sing. Beverly asks, have you changed your Instagram channel? I haven't, but I do have an additional one. We did just we still have the Back to Earth Creations with like underscores where all the spaces are. But we now also have the Vonster Vlog Instagram where we put like personal stuff and like motivational crap and for lack of a better term. Okay, so I don't know, I just did a bit of a spiral. Told me to follow my little heart, so here we go. So I was going to use this to kind of cram that up there. Get it shaped around. I'm going to do a 90-degree bend. Rubber ducky, you're the one. Rubber ducky, so much fun. Rubber ducky. Though honestly, we don't really make anything off of the live streams for the most part anyhow, so I just do them for fun, so I don't see why it would count. But if you get too many copyright claims, you lose your channel, which is the biggest reason to copyright strikes. Sorry. Okay. So the idea is to make it look very like organic and stuff, and like it, I don't know, wanted to be there. Oh no, not the regular mailman. Hush puppy. And I'm sure the same style could be done for sounds like he's wrestling the mailbox. For like a key or something also. Hey Judy. I'll be in good company. This would look really cool with like some coiling and stuff. Like some weaving.
I swear Pepper's back in the front yard.
Oh, is she?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I don't mean to be wandering off screen either. If I were my round nose pliers, I would have hidden myself. Right in the heckins. I don't know where anything is. Where'd you go? Are you my pliers? Oh god. Maybe they're on the floor? Yes, I found them. There they go. Blow the dog hair off of it.
We're having chicken tonight, boys.
No, why are we... What? Anything good in the mail?
No.
You troll.
Chicken's back on the menu.
So there we are. And then I'm going to do one last one right there.
Oh my goodness. I believe you would classify this as something I cannot say on a live stream.
Oh, okay. So there we are. There is Adam's wrapped feather. Sheila, I had cast the feather using Art and Glow epoxy, like just a casting resin. So it's still very, very lightweight. Now I am gonna go through and see if I can't like smush this. Can't quite get my pliers around it, so let's see. So I've got the rubber side of my block and the nylon side of my hammer. So blasted paintbrush. For everybody who had asked about how I work harden, this is basically it. So you can see it's very, very durable, but now there's no wiggle. Oh, Carrie. She says, I received my craft crate yesterday. Thank you. I had to giggle though because there's a doggo hair in one of the cabs. Oh no! Like, dang it. I try to always, like, in our quality control, we try to, because there does a lot of dog hair and stuff. But if you want, Carrie, we can send you a replacement tab for the one with the dog hair in it. Oh, but yeah, we always joke that the dog hair is free, but if it's stuck in your cab. But yeah, so there you are, Adam. I hope you like it. I think I like it. No, I do. I'm gonna post a picture of it up on my Instagram before I ship it to you. So if you could be sure to send me your shipping information in an email address. That way it's nice and private. Send it to us at backearthcreations@yahoo.com. Who donated $5? Randy? Somebody donated $5?
I didn't see it. I may be lagging.
No, it was a minute. I don't know when it was. But I just noticed at the top of the screen, it's like, you have $5. And I'm like, who gave me $5? So I usually like to think I'm personally, man, it must have been a minute ago. Oof. Yeah, I have no idea. Well, thank you, whoever gave me $5. Oh no, Jennifer says, I keep my solder to melt. So frustrating. I use a good TIG kitchen torch since I'm not a pro. Any advice? I don't know. Sometimes the solder won't melt if the piece needs cleaned. Like usually, excuse me, the way that I troubleshoot, let me get this turned on. The way that I troubleshoot whenever my solder won't melt is I just repickle and clean the piece entirely. Just because I don't know if there's like a greasy fingerprint or maybe too much flux or not enough flux, but I go back to square one and just sand it up, like steel bristle brush it, clean it up, and dip it in the pickle and start over. But it's also coming from someone who's very inexperienced, so I'm like, I don't know what I did wrong, probably everything, and then just start back over. Is how I've been treating it. Mikio asks, will the Etsy feathers come like Adam's? Well, if we wrap it, we're gonna have to charge more. I'll probably post some that are unwrapped for you to wrap yourself, and some that are wrapped for if you just want a completed wearable piece.
Okay, so disregard what I had answered.
Excuse me. But you'll get what's in the Etsy picture, if that makes sense. Sparkies for you, yes. I will do a quick demo of, thank you for the blessing. I will do a quick demo of a herringbone ring. I guess this is going to be a ring today. Ooh, I did my first key wrap yesterday. However, being an anxiety haze for over a week, I'm not sure it's okay going to put it on Instagram for your feedback. Just trust that it's art. It is what it is. You'll be great. My neighbors would die if I got chickens. Would it be because you killed them and fed them to your chickens? Because that's been tempting sometimes. Not that I would ever. Oh God, I really hope my neighbors don't turn up missing, because then I'll be number one suspect. Be like, well, that's what they get. But yeah, more often than not, like 100% of the time, people will be like, "Oh my God, I don't like this piece that I made," and I look at it, I'm like, "I think it looks great. Maybe you're being hard on yourself." I know my nose is running. I can't remember if I've taken an allergy pill yet today. Didn't feel like it. Man, I was sneezing so hard so hard yesterday that I couldn't stop sneezing long enough to take an allergy pill. And it ripped my throat up, and I was a mess. Okay. Excuse me. So I'm going to make one here using 20 gauge bare copper. So let me get that out the drawer. And I'll be using something new. Is there a cat meowing?
No. That's a child.
Okay. Well, it's a beautiful day. Nasal spray. In my treasure box of my treasure of jewelry crafting the box, I have the true old keys. Would they make good jewelry? Yes, for sure. You may want to seal them with some microcrystalline wax, like Renaissance wax or something, just to if they might irritate some people's skin or like rust up from being worn. But for the old steel or iron keys, I like to make them for long enough to be worn over, like as a necklace, but they'd be sitting like on top of a shirt or something. Okay, so I probably shouldn't have work hardened it as much, but this is 20 gauge bare copper. And I'm pulling off about 2 feet of it. Yeah, it's the pollen and stuff in our big old drafty, dirty house. What bead should I use? Let's see. I got this bin of odd and old beads. I think I'm going to wrap. That was the first one I had. This nice 8mm amethyst. Honestly, I do love a good pillow bead. Should I make a honking, like, big old pyrite? No, though. Whenever we go in to oxidize it, that'll be a mess. Ooh, we could do this big nugget. Just a really, I don't know, I feel drawn towards giant. Excuse me. Just sniffling in your ear. This one will be perfect, I think. Not too big, not too small. Dim. Okay, so this is like a 14mm pillow bead. 14 by 10, I think. And you always want to make sure, and this is Russian Amazonite. It's a very pale robin egg blue. Sup, my turkey? Oh, Jennifer. That's enviable to not have allergies. I typically don't, but I guess, I don't know, I hit 30 and, well, I didn't for the longest time, though. You know? Not like this. But yeah, now it's just become a chronic case of now I always have allergies. Well, crepe. I wanted to use dying this bead, but the hole isn't big enough. Hey, Angela. Rummage. Ooh, yes. Nice little 10mm abalone. Oh. Spring is springin'. Faux show. In today's episode of Does It Fit? Oh. Right? D asks, why do you choose bare copper over other wires? Well, on this one, I'm going to be doing a big old batch of oxidized copper, like antiquing and polishing. And I'd like to see how it looks, with a patina on it. Though typically I would go with one of my many enameled copper wires from Parawire. Well, Nanny, I don't always mix all of my beads. Um, but those were some that like had gotten spilled. And so that's whenever I just need, I don't really know what I'm looking for. I'll open it up and just rummage. So I'm going to be making this for me, but I'm going to start at like a size 13. And because you want to leave a lot of room for that wire. How will abalone do in liver of sulfur? This one should be fine. It's stabilized in a resin. So it should be okay. And also we're not going to be dipping it for very long in the liver of sulfur. Okay, so I chose this one because I didn't want the bead to stick out super far the way that the round beads tend to. So I'm just going to pinch it down right there on the side. And then I'm going to pinch this one down right there on the side. Remove our mandrel. It's difficult starting. And then we're just looping this around. And then bringing this again, trying to make sure that my wires aren't crossing or doing anything weird. You can do a little bit of a bend like that. And that way, whenever you thread your needle or your wire through, it'll just bend there. Because otherwise, it'll just bend wherever it wants to. Oh, that's a little too tight though. Let's see if we can't get it back up. There we are, on the edge of the bead. There we go. Now we'll see if we can't strong arm this wire back where it's supposed to be. Because I like them sitting side by side. I don't want them overlapping each other. So there you can see, and that's a very different effect from whenever we do the rings where the bead is poking out. Rhonda says, I bought some 12 gauge wire for making a ring. Do you think it will work? And do you know how to make the cages for faceted stones? 12 gauge will be pretty thick. That's honestly, I use 12 gauge whenever I'm doing a single like soldered band. But I don't know, there's a lot of different ways and a lot of really great tutorials out there of how to do a like a cabochon ring. I was actually putting together a tutorial on how to make one like this, but it's still very kind of, I feel like, messy and unrefined, which can have a nice appeal to it. But okay, so now we're bringing it around, doing that same herringbone that just as we would on a individual wire for earrings or a bracelet. Again, doing that little bend there first. No spiders in my hair yet this week, at least not that I've noticed. Right on, Tracy. Oh, I'm glad you like it, Toshers. But yeah, so just getting those wraps down. Oh no. Oh, Abby. I've had the same kind of bead, but in blue. Do they come in other colors? Mine came from another shocker pack, from my shocker package. Oh, I don't know. Honestly, I'd gotten this one, gosh, maybe 6 to 8 years ago from Fire Mountain Gems. Excuse me. No, we're still live, still going. And so at this point, you just want to bring it around and make sure the little wires are stacking next to each other. Now, sometimes I don't mind if it's a bit irregular, but I wanted this one to be a little tidier. So we can actually come in with our pliers and give it a bit of a pull in the direction that we want it shaping, if that makes sense. And so now we'll bring it and do that bend, bring it around, do that bend, and now bring it through. But yeah, I'll be adding a couple of these to our Etsy shop as a shop update. But this one probably isn't going to go up until we do the tutorial because I want to show, you know, how I went about it. It's going to be one of the many examples of how to do that ring style. So yeah, so on this one, and you'll just keep repeating it, Sparky, the same way that you would if it were earrings or a pendant or a bracelet. Bye, Teresa. And so I think that's going to be a pretty good size. So now from here, I'm going to take these, and you could just, do another wrap and snip it, but I want this one to be a stabilized size. So like permanently sized, oops. And so with a little bit more of a substantial band. So I'm just whip stitching this very loosely around the shank of the ring. Getting on up to the sides. Yeah, Tracy, that's why typically I don't do demonstrations like this in the live streams, is because I don't have a lot of control over if it's blurry or pixelated or what have you. And the lighting's pretty off right now. Wow, Catherine. That is amazing. Okay, so now we're going to come through with the other one, the other wire, and just keep vining it around, very much like how we did in the recent wreath tutorial. But I just want them laying next to each other, not laying over each other. Are pearls safe in liver of sulfur? I don't know. I haven't tried it. Anytime that you're not certain, I think just putting some liquid latex onto it. Speaking of which, it's almost ready for the second coat. You can see how it's starting to dry up. And so now you can see that has filled in a lot of the space on the ring. And it's still a little loose on me, but that's okay. I think we'll put this one up to find its forever home on Etsy. Now here you can see it wants to cross over that other wire that we're going to get in there. Then I lost my bent nose. Where can my bent nose be? Where in the heck are they? Probably on the floor. Where are you at, bent nose? Hey, Randy. Oh, I found him. Never mind. Excellent. Okay. So you can see I'm just tucking this wire kind of in there. And we could add another wrap even if we wanted, which I think I might do, because nope, it's gonna overlap funny. So nice. I'm gonna snip just as flush as I can, which I need new snippers. The tips went out. Jim, no, not quite. So I pull it out a bit so that I can get in, and then I come in with the pliers and smoosh, because you want no pokey outy bits, especially on a finger ring, because that'll snag in your hair, it'll itch the fingers next to you. And so now we can bring it down, and it's still about a size 11, but we can come through with our little nylon headed hammer and this is how I work harden and flatten our rings. Now the nylon doesn't get it nearly as flat as what the brass would. But I'm not really looking for a perfectly flat band. Yep. And you can see that actually raised it up to a size 12. So all in all, it only really reduced it about a size, but I think that's a nice ring. I like it. Hey Jody, our friend and longtime follower Adam won today. But yeah, I love the little, huh?
Later, Lily.
Bye Lily, thanks for hanging out. But yeah, so I think since this is not adjustable, I'm gonna put it up for sale on our Etsy for anybody who might want to win it. Or not win it. Well, I guess if you buy it, you win. um, but yeah, we'll be doing shop updates today. But I love that how it sits just closer to the finger. But yeah, you can see it's just a bit big on me. And honestly, we could go in if I were selling this to somebody and they didn't mind, and we could bend it. Here, like I would take my pliers and do a bit of a bend and make it like wavy because that would reduce the size, but um typically I would just rewrap it. Yeah, on my first finger. But I like stuff that doesn't have too thick of a band because then you can still kind of function while wearing it. Because I got chubby little fingers, so I don't want something that's gonna like if it's too wide of a band, then I can't bend my finger, and if I can't do that, then I'm not happy. But yeah, usually I save my big rings from my thumb because it's not quite as like wide rings from my thumb. Ooh. Yeah, well, if anything, Jennifer, you can actually take the liver of sulfur and paint it on with a paintbrush and onto the pieces that you want oxidized. So, right, Jim. All right. Now that being said, we got a fair bit of crafting done today, in a giveaway and just kind of hanging out. But I was exhausted this morning, and I feel very uplifted after hanging out with you guys. So thanks a lot for just hanging out with me and for being awesome, because y'all help me to keep enjoying what I do even after doing it every day, day in day out. Like I haven't had a day off in like a month and a half. Tracy, I'm gonna sell this one for 15, I think, because I haven't bothered to, if I were to oxidize it and then add in all the hand polishing and stuff, it would probably be closer to 25, because that would be another like almost hour and a half of work to put into it. But this one just as is 15, I think. So I'll be putting it up for 15 on Etsy. But yeah, gosh, I feel really good. I'm gonna go get a bunch of stuff done. But thanks guys for hanging out, and yep, we'll be back on, actually I'll have a video out for you guys on Saturday. But until then,